Hello, my friend. We're trying something new today. Instead of doing a reaction to music like I usually do, I'm gonna do a reaction to Quadeca's interview by Kevin Abstract. And let me tell you something. Well, actually, we have a few things to talk about. I'm currently here just kind of waiting for Texas Blue, and I figured this would be a good little video for in between so I can learn a little bit more about everybody, about the album. I thought it could be fun, and also, I see you. I thought it was a great idea. So today, I'm gonna react to In Focus with Quadeca by Kevin Abstract. I was trying to keep track if Texas Blue was gonna be posted because it kind of showed hints that it's gonna be posted sometime soon, but there's no official date. Point being, this little tweet. Why did you say I was pretty? For just a moment, I kind of looked like...
You just said what?
I did not say what. I said you.
That's what I'm asking you.
Me.
Yes, you.
I am me. Here's me.
Man is looking good. Man is looking good. Not gonna lie, it kind of gave me a flashback to this comment that was left saying I am, you may call a glazer of Quadeca. Bruh. It was said, it was foretold, Amy, comma, the biggest Quadeca glazer, and we're here for it. I'm so done. Why did you say I was pretty? And for a moment I thought it was because but then I realized Pretty Privilege, the song, the beginning of it is, why'd you say? So that made sense. If I were to predict, I feel like Pretty Privilege is gonna be the next music video after Texas Blue with Kevin Abstract. So I'm gonna be there for all of it. But before we get into this video, I wanna talk about my background with Kevin Abstract. So I believe in 2016, when he released the American Boyfriend album, I heard a few songs, but I didn't really know of him. I just knew that if I saw his name, I probably would like the music. But life went on. 2019, Arizona Baby drops. And I'm pretty sure in 2019, I was kind of, not finding music as much, but kind of, and Joyride was a song I really liked. But I will mention, Kevin Abstract, I believe, is the founding father of Brockhampton, and I had a little phase for like a month of just listening to random Brockhampton songs. And then I was in this art class at the time, and so I drew some of the members in a way. I'll show you in a second. But some stellar songs from Brockhampton at the time was, I mean, this is a classic. This was... I was late to art class and I was literally blasting this in my headphones, no care in the world. Arguably, that song made me pick up my step while I was walking to class so that I would be on time. What else did they have? Tell me what you're waiting for. Specifically, the Saturation 3 album, I think, really piqued my interest. Also, 2017 was like an excellent time for me to explore music. It was, I have a Spotify, and I do playlists based on the year, and I think 2017 is a hot one, I'm just gonna say. Back to the art you were talking about, Amy. Okay, I guess. So I've really done one art class in my life, and I started figuring out I like digital art, so then I got the okay from my teacher to do digital art as long as I can get it printed and turned in time, and that's what I did. So I thought this one was kind of cool. I had some type of meaning to it at the time. I kind of forgot what it was. This, I like the meaning. Like, this was such an accidental thing, but I ended up really liking the meaning I personally put behind it. So I did paintings. I forgot what the assignment exactly was, but I did paintings with Brockhampton. It was really just because I was listening to the music and then I Googled who these characters that are making this great music is. And so I'm gonna show you my least favorites and then go into the better ones. This one, I don't even know what happened. I think that the colors kind of just got really wonky too. Here's another one. I just feel like it's not complex enough. It kind of just like is what it is. But these, I really like how this turned out. I did not picture it to look like this, but it turned out pretty cool. And that's Kevin Abstract. So that's my boy, and then here we go. I tried to paint the photos negative colors, and then that's what this turned out to be. If I disrespected Brockhampton or Kevin Abstract in any way, my purest apologies. But without further ado, I grabbed a snazzy coffee. It might be a little bit of a different format, and I'm gonna try not to pause and go on too much of a tangent, but I think I'm just gonna get to know Quadeca. I haven't actually looked at any interviews with him yet. I purely have my glazing, the little glazer I am. I won't get over that guy. I want to be a freaking donut glazed all day. I like to compliment. If I see talent, you know, I don't got that talent, I must appreciate it, of course. Without further ado, let's do In Focus with Quadeca. I'm kind of excited. I feel like I never had a proper introduction. I just wanted to say, I got this mug and it has a home on it because I want to make you guys feel at home. Aww. I also saw a post where he was talking about a lot of his inspirations he's now working with and how incredible that is, and I agree. Let's give a little quick congratulations.
We should go even more down there.
I really like the font choice.
What I used to do when I was 8 and 10 is I would go on the iTunes store and I would just look up random words. So I would just like look up words I thought were cool. To like I'd look up like iron, and then I'd listen to the top 10 Iron songs.
Iron.
That's cool.
I-R-O-N.
And then hold on, let me check my.
Oh, he seems so cool and personable.
You knew I was gonna do that?
Hi, sir.
Sir.
I'm so tired of Cali. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go on a little tangent, okay? I went to LA. I've been there. I'm cool. But this is like the California view. I didn't see it when I was there. So I feel like maybe I am missing out. But I've been to LA. Funny story, I somehow finessed my way into LA by getting a ticket to James Corden, the late night show. It was a random episode. We came first, and the way that they seat you is completely random. They probably choose like the prettiest people to go in front or something like that, or like they got an audience to go into the front. So even if you're there first, you don't necessarily sit there first. People tell you where to sit for the show, which is like so LA, right? I was on television for about 1 second of my life and I was in the audience in the dark where no one saw me, and that's why I was in LA. I saw it, I'm cool. But this is always the scene, this is always the view that you see of California. You just see this mountain into the huge city. I'm like, maybe I didn't go on that one hike. I don't know.
I thought I was like better than everybody or something, you know?
That's awesome.
But yeah, so many bangers. I love like Maroon 5 songs about Jane. That shit was fire. I love the song Juice Box by The Strokes. That was like one of my favorites.
Juice Box, little hipster you. Juice Box by The Strokes. I feel like I like a song by The Strokes, but I can't remember what it's called. I wonder how we got, because Maroon 5 definitely isn't like the rap R&B he's into now. Oh, yeah. I would, and I probably will get down to this later. Maroon 5 also was dominating at the time that we were kids. Like, he was on the radio all the time. What is that one song I really love? She Will Be Loved. This was later on. I got really tired of that song, I'm not gonna lie. There's something on my mind. Oh, this was the one. Oh, Justin Timberlake was on the radio at the time too. Oh, it's so good. His voice is so smooth. Okay. So far, I have nothing but respect for Quadeca. Also, why was the volume down?
As a child.
What about rap music?
That's what I was thinking.
I didn't really start getting into rap until, well, I guess until I was about like 11. So I guess that just misses the cutoff. I was like in 5th grade, and I, you know,
Kanye?
like heard
that,
like
when was
Eminem,
Graduation
like,
out?
Look at Me Now, and there was the Busta Rhymes verse, and then I was like,
he did it. I got to. That you don't understand how hot that song was. Like, you would go to school and everybody when they want to be, gotta boot about it. It was so good. You don't understand.
I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in.
Let go.
Yellow bottle gin. Look at me now. Look at me now. Oh. I'm getting paper. Oops, I said on my dick. I ain't really mean to say on my dick. But since we talking about my dick, all of you niggas say hi to me. I'm done.
Hell, breezy. And every time I come, a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna do it. Then I gonna murder everything and anything about it, but about it, I gotta do it. You really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we do it.
He was doing this? Is that what he's saying? He was practicing how to rap with Bus. That's literally legendary. He said, give me the hardest. Give me the hardest difficulty. I'll do it right now. I'm not doing too good at that not pausing thing. In my defense, he is dropping those good groovy jams. Like Maroon 5, we got Busta Rhymes. Like, it is throwing me back in the best of ways. Does this guy have a playlist just out there? Like an early 2000s playlist? Cause I bet you that would be too many songs, but that's the fun of it. Anyway, anyone knows his secret stash of Y2K pop songs that would throw me back to my childhood? Let me know. I have my own versions called Back to My Childhood, but it definitely is missing a lot of the ones that I never knew the names of when I was younger. I'm gonna try not to pause.
Yeah, it was just like a rabbit hole.
How old were you when you got your first million views?
A rabbit hole. I can't relate
I
to
would say,
being
like,
down a rabbit
13.
hole with any type of
But I was doing
specific
FIFA videos.
artist music at all.
Like, tell me, but football related game.
Football,
And I
soccer,
would
me
do, like,
too.
compilations of pack openings or just me opening packs. But I was what they referred to as a squeaker, or you know, I just sounded like a girl, and so I would get very hated on. So I would try to figure out ways I could
I
like
would
game the
love
system
that.
without
What do you mean by that?
revealing myself. You know, so I'd like do compilations, and I think I had some video that was like top 5.
Why are people so
packs or
mean?
something that got like 3 million views or
And
then
13.
Yeah, but that was
It's gonna be, I hope, my final pause. But isn't it crazy? Because it seems like I just connected something. His diss track, which I still haven't heard, is called Insecure. And then he references his diss track. He's like, yes, I'm insecure like my song. And he's insecure, I think, about his voice, which is crazy because he's so musically talented with instruments as well as his voice, as well as his rapping. Like, he knows so many elements of music that I literally can never comprehend. And yet he's still insecure because his voice, to so many people, especially since he grew up kind of online, was too squeaky, was too nasally, was too whatever. But that, to me, sounds like you were unique and you stuck out from the crowd and you took it and you evolved with it and you're killing it. Okay, final pause.
like I just had such a weird like.
Did it mean like anything
growth.
to you really? when
Oh,
you
it
saw
did. I thought I was like the GOAT. I was like, nobody's compiling these FIFA packs like me, bro. I'm the GOAT of this shit. But yeah, no, it was. I did it like I was obsessed with this shit. Like I would do it upload a video every day, and it was like something I was very proud of. Like I remember I kept my YouTube a secret at school, and then
Me
I had
too!
1,000
Hannah
subscribers,
Montana!
and I was like, okay, I can start like telling people the secret. And
I could only,
that was like a thing.
people only cared. I made a YouTube, I would get made fun of, I would get bullied literally for it. People didn't know I was Hannah Montana. Until YouTubers started getting paid and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, you remember when you used to be a YouTuber? I was living, thriving. It's funny he kept his secret too because it's more the time that we grew up. It wasn't accepted. And yeah. Also the time he was doing this, I feel like was the time I was actually watching KSI and I didn't watch their FIFA stuff, but I watched their other gaming content. Wild. Small world.
Or realizing you could like put your own creations on the
You know what's funny? There's this is like so niche, but this is just the truth of the world, which is that I would watch these like X Factor videos of like 11 and 10-year-olds like playing the piano and singing, and I was like, that's me.
Wow.
And I was like, I would hear some people playing that, and I was like, they didn't even write that shit. You know, like they're like playing Alicia Keys, and I'm like, that's Alicia Keys. Like, let's hear like your songs. And so then I was like, I need.
You know, his voice is so adorable, but the reason it's adorable, I say that very, I think it's adorable because you can hear how excited he is about music, about learning, about talking about his past and how he found music. It's just really cool to kind of see this, in my opinion.
I need to do my songs. I need to put them on YouTube. So seeing that.
So he wanted to make
I was
music
like,
since the beginning.
I need to do that. So those are the first videos I ever did were me singing songs, and then that was a little too vulnerable for like a middle schooler because if your friends find it, they're like, oh, and I'd sing all these forlorn ballads and so
ballads for real.
And then I also love like
15, you're writing
soccer,
ballads.
Like,
What happened in your life?
That was like my other favorite thing. Like I wore a soccer jersey every day in school till I was like 12. Like I would only wear them, so I was like very obsessed with those.
I have one
'Cause
soccer jersey,
I feel
it's
like
for
we're kind of
France,
twisted up in a
represent.
way where I feel like we both kind of try and dabble in like the universal nature of being an artist and like a curator and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, how did you kind of see see that in yourself? You know.
I grew up with my mom and my sisters, and I knew my dad, but he didn't live at the crib, so like there was no like male figure in the household. Cliche story, but that was my life. And anytime my mom would point to like a black man on TV, I would become so fascinated. I'm like, okay, I'm obsessed with bro, because like my mom is like talking about.
Update. I got a cutie on my chair. Hello.
I'm so happy. I just go my way.
How am I gonna break the news? I need my chair back, ma'am.
Hello there.
That was my life. And anytime my mom would point to like a black man on TV, I would become so fascinated. I'm like, okay, I'm obsessed with bro, because like my mom is like talking about how like he's lit.
You know why? Because I was born in 2000, and growing up, what you saw everywhere was blonde and blue eyes. So when you're being sold a toy, it's usually blonde and blue eyes, which when you look in a mirror, that's not you. So then I think there was this kind of like evolution in toys. For example, whenever it was my birthday, they had these Bratz dolls, and usually the parent would choose to give me Yasmin because they assumed, oh, she looks most like Yasmin. But in reality, I wanted Yasmin, Chloe, Sasha, and Jade. I always thought you wanted friends that looked different from you. And I thought it was really cool because I liked the Bratz dolls because they were all different from each other. That was about it. And I was fascinated with it too because it's something I wasn't used to. I was very happy it existed when I grew up because it kind of allowed me to see myself, versus a lot of Barbies growing up was mostly blonde hair, blue eyes, which was kind of, you know, it was something the toy industry wasn't even used to. They were like, oh, these kids probably want to start seeing themselves in these toys. Indeed. Same sentiment for actors you see on TV. He was talking about Will Smith. Yeah, when you start seeing it, you realize I can do that one day. You can actually envision if someone looks like you is doing it, maybe I can do it, you know?
And at one point, it was Will Smith. Fresh Prince was just playing in my crib all the time. And I did research.
That's
my dad
fire.
got me a computer.
Fire show.
And I looked him up.
The Carlton.
And saw he was a rapper before he was an actor. I was like, I'm a rap.
Yeah,
And that was my introduction to like wanting to make music. And then
That's a crazy story. Crazy connection.
my aesthetics.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but I was gonna say, do you have an inspiration outside of music that like you that has made if they've somehow like made their way into your music, if that makes sense? Like I like
Oh, that's a good question.
like I
That's a good question.
a lot, and
And then he blinked
I
out.
sometimes
They
feel
can
like I
never
take some
know.
of those principles and put it into like the way I make music, if that.
I think I take a lot from like, you know, film and TV.
Yeah.
Like specific shows, like the way that they, like, cause in a song you're kind of like you have to have a convincing performance. Like even though, like most of the time it's coming from you. Some people have songs that are really genuine, but they aren't translating the thing. So I've always really identified with like building worlds and shit.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we know.
any movie that kind of does that,
Wow.
and like
Oh, wow.
actors that kind of
makes
get
sense.
super tapped into shit. Like I like Robert Pattinson, and I like
'Cause you watched
like
Twilight.
Larry David, even though I'm not sure how much that makes it into my music. It makes it into my life, Larry David.
That's so
Really?
funny.
Yeah.
Always.
I don't know. I just think that I try and watch as much Curb Your Enthusiasm as I can when I'm sad, because there's kind of like a way of viewing life through that show, like through the lens of that show, that just makes that like softens like
life.
everything in a
Yeah.
good way. Like I was really depressed and like last year, and for a month straight I just listened to Action Bronson's discography on loop and watched Curb Your Enthusiasm clips, and then I was fixed. So that's what. Now you're asking me if I would go to therapy. That's what I do.
That's awesome.
Mine is
But
anime.
I don't
Anime
know.
is like
that was just a ramble because I couldn't
it
think of a
calms me
good
down
answer.
a lot.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Literally
Do you
just
think
talking as
about,
the
like,
sun's setting.
making
This is
magnum
beautiful, Kevin.
opuses?
You did a great job.
Do you have like this lingering idea in the back of your head, or like this desire to like you're like, oh, I have this like project that I need to do that's like going to be the thing, or do you have multiple versions of those, or do you
The thought
kind
process.
of approach your process in more of like day by day, or like idea by
I'm actually really
idea
curious about
basis,
this.
and then
For
and then it
Quadeca,
amounts
too.
to like a catharsis that is like good, you know?
Catharsis. He just throws that
You
word
know what
in
I'm
there.
saying?
Yeah, I do. I think I always am trying to have that, my magnum opus,
Yeah.
every time. But even when I was in high school, like making my first real mixtape that I wanted to put out, I was like, you know, this has to be as good as whatever my favorite artist at the time, like their debut album was.
I'm sure there's like a million people that are like
So high
I wanna
expectations
have
to
that
try to
career.
like do the
your
best
career
you can
path is
do.
also inspiring to me.
Thank
You know,
That's
so that's
really
another
sweet.
reason why this
Thank you
is
so
cool and surreal. Because like I've been, you know, inspired by your solo work and Brockhampton and all that shit. And it's
Yeah.
like it's funny that on the
It's so unique and
project
experimental.
that
Like you never
that we
hear
have the
anything
song
like anything
that
Kevin
closes the project.
creates.
Like there's like songs that are like very obviously Brockhampton inspired.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And so it's kind of cool.
It's kind of
that
funny.
It's like, and I was making them without any foresight that like we would.
What
end
was
up linking
the
and, like,
what was the
making
For Me
cool
to
stuff.
You song? I feel like this actually
But,
reminds me
yeah,
of Brockhampton, and I thought about it later after I heard it. I think it was on the deluxe, which by the way, if you haven't checked that out, that was my last video. So enjoy. That sounded like Brockhampton start to me. They also had, was it in Scrapyard? When he talks about Maroon 5 and some of his old inspirations, I feel like you see it most out of all the songs in Scrapyard in The Strokes, the kind of like rock, pop, punk time. See, here's the like Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think. What's It to Him as a song is almost, to me, it feels equivalent to going back in time to the early 2000s. When I was a kid, I would go to the pool every once in a while. It was like the summer, early 2000s. You would hear the radio in the pool. That's how I knew all the trendy songs. This reminds me of the car radio there, when you're switching between your 3 favorite radio stations before Spotify and everything was so openly available. You had to listen to the radio, and you had your 3 stations of your area or whatever. You'd be like, okay, here's my R&B, here's my all over the place radio, like the classics, and here's my very pop radio. And you just switch between the radio stations. That's what the song is to me. Isn't that crazy? It feels like me going back in time in the passenger seat as my mom drives me to the pool, and I'm switching the radio stations because I'm the passenger DJ. Respect. This is so fascinating.
Just the vibe and the feeling of a movement with like original music and real creativity is so awesome to me.
Yeah.
I'm
It's like,
assuming
it's the
Kevin's
only
from
thing I wanna be around
Texas.
usually.
Hell
But
yeah.
that's
Let me
like,
say.
that's
Let me
really all the
say.
time. You're so consistent too.
Thank you.
And very it feels prolific, but it feels like curated and like well timed. Like it doesn't feel like you're rushing shit out.
Yeah.
How do you balance that?
Yeah,
I've
Corpus
become good
Christi,
at holding myself
Texas.
accountable for my long-term vision. Like as soon as I have like this idea, like I'm working on my next album right now, and I know what it's capable of being right now, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable to make sure that it's as good as the best version of it in my head.
Yes,
you know?
sir. I love that for you. Yes,
But
sir.
That's very nice of you to say.
Oh, you're doing great.
That's what I'm aiming for. Like I'm aiming for like consistency, but never like redundancy.
You're
you know?
aiming
Like,
and you are
like,
achieving. You are getting the
everything
bullseye
is bringing
every
something
time.
new to the table, and it's like pushing something forward and adding like a
Boundaries,
new
yeah.
branch to me, you know. And I think that's like what's like exciting. Like that's like what makes me happy to like do that, or to crack something new.
You know
I'm
what?
like,
That's what
fuck,
makes
I
me
think
happy
nobody's
too, is
done
the fact that you're
And,
making
like,
music.
You know,
like
it's a
that.
it's
That's
the
exactly what I
it's
want
the
to
trade-off
listen
of
to.
like being a spectacle, and like you have to kind of
Spectacle.
accept what comes with that, and also what it takes away from you. You know, if you want to like have your shit, you know, reach what it can be, and I kind of feel as though like I value like music and what I make more than myself, and so I'm okay with that, you know.
I'm not okay with that. Here's the thing, Mr. Quad Man. By the way, I think I'm gonna call this little posse we have going on here, where I just react to Quadeca all the time. You know what we are? The Quad Squad. Chicka chicka. So Quad Squad and Quad himself. I just want you to be happy. Like, said he prioritized music more than himself, which I think is, you know, the struggles of being an artist is usually where the art can come from, but at the same time, this is what I want, especially when you're just, when you're talented. Man, what I want for you, which, you know, I would hope someday you would want for you, I want happiness in yourself first. Define what that means for yourself, to define it. I know you're young because I'm still young, and there's only so much life we've experienced, and I think we don't even know nearly enough to come to these conclusions. But I just want you to bask in the feelings of happiness when you have them, and to try to revisit that feeling of happiness as much as possible. I want Quadeca to be happy before he makes music. If he needs to step away, I love his music, but you already created so many albums because you've been making music since you were like 11, I think, or 13 or something. Which is crazy. That's actually when I started YouTube too, now I think about. Yeah, I started YouTube when I was 10. I was on Club Penguin. I made Club Penguin music videos, and I started YouTube that long ago. And it's something that I just love the community here. But I didn't make music. You know, I wasn't being like a talented little human being running around. Anyways, my point is, Quadeca, I want happiness for you first and foremost. And I hope that you want that out of yourself too. Because I love your art, but I would love, I don't know. I just wish the best. I send good vibes. All good vibes here. I do think he sounds a bit happier, a bit more mature, and a bit more like registered with his thoughts in Scrapyard compared to From Me to You, which I also just listened to for the first time recently. That was 2021 to 2024. In the past 3 years, you could see kind of grown, not only through the skills and everything, but also just his process, like his thought process of life, I think. And I think he seems happier because more of the painful parts seem like he talks in a past tense, as if he's getting over it to get to better things, which I feel like is all you can wish for. You just gotta get to the first step before you get to the second step. There's no reason to skip steps. You have to take things one by one. And by taking things one by one, you will learn to appreciate the process and appreciate yourself, hopefully. And I wish you luck on your journey, quad and quad squad alike. Wow, I'm really enjoying this kind of like personal point of view. I know I'm going on a rant, but I don't know what you expected here. You know the Quadeca effect at this point. This is really nice. It feels like it makes sense. And also I believe this was filmed before Scrapyard was fully formulated, before the plan or the release dates or anything was situated. Didn't even know probably at this point which songs he was gonna put on the album yet, which is so interesting because it shows you every artist has a different thought process and you gotta respect it. This is so cool.
The GOAT. If anybody doesn't know, this is the GOAT. Jane.
It's now it's dark.
Self-produced.
I love the way this interview is done.
Genius. 100%. You wouldn't say that?
The GOAT.
You're the GOAT. Self-produced genius.
I'm not there yet.
What?
But
you are.
You know, you've set up the pathway to goathood. You know.
You set up the pathway to goathood.
Yeah.
What's a baby goat?
Baby goat.
A gruff? I might be tripping.
Baby goat.
A baby goat. Like, what are you?
You are tripping because why are you thinking about that?
Phones or something?
When have you come across a baby goat,
Jane, if you
Kevin?
could speak another language.
Oh, that's Jane, isn't it?
I tried learning Spanish, like
Jane, remove
in high
her. I
school,
reacted
in
to a video,
college,
I still have to
learned
post it.
Spanish, and I forgot most of it. I can pronounce it. Like if you put it like
What a little
if you put Spanish
posse.
words
Okay,
on
I
a
see
paper
you.
for me, I can like pronounce them okay. But
Yeah.
I don't know what like.
She's so
I
cute
forgot
over
what
her.
the words mean.
If you could pick a new language, like any language to know.
A new language?
Yeah.
I love this
Ooh.
question.
You know, like
Fonse?
Scots.
Oh.
Like Scotland?
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn French.
I want to learn that.
Here, I'll speak it to you right now. You ready?
Do you know it?
Yeah, so you say, everybody's fucking staring at you. They're all fucking staring at your breasts. What about you, Ian?
I like
what's the
Scot,
language are you
Irish
picking?
accents. I gotta go to Ireland sometime. I gotta live in the UK
Jay, what do you
sometime. I feel
hope
like I'm meant to be
happens
there.
after you die?
Ooh. Do you know like the I forgot what it's called. It was like quantum universe theory, blah blah, infinite. I don't know. Where it's like
You guys are way smarter
have
than me.
Probably already
Haven't
died
heard of that
1,000
one.
times, but you're
Sorry,
just
bruh.
in the universe that you don't.
Oh.
You know. So what if you just like live forever type shit? You know.
What if you just gotta
That's
live
kinda
forever
crazy.
type shit? So what if you just do
Let's
like this
find out.
phenomenon of living forever, the thing that like everybody's been thinking about for years that is impossible, but like what if you kind of just like live forever?
Superstar.
Type shit.
Superstar
So,
caliber.
Like, lower,
Just
you guys
incredible
say,
in
like,
so many
really
ways.
crazy
Just
and then you're like type shit.
truly an inspiration. That's
Oh,
why
look at him.
everyone who's like the GOAT says that Jane's the GOAT. So what?
He looks so
what
chill
that
in the back
mean?
of the car with a little Sprite. Like what?
That's
That's
Jane is the
extreme
goat though, from what I've seen so far.
Hey.
The album's
I love that they work together.
And Frailty, that's an amazing album.
Let's go.
Oh.
That is so nice.
Wait, so how many new songs come out tonight?
7.
Okay.
Oh, is this when he releases
One that
the...
matters.
So I don't know who's behind the camera, but maybe he's more of like a camera guy, but it seems like they have their own little team, which is so cute. So we had Kevin, who was kind of the main interviewer, Quadeca, the main interviewee, but they also interviewed each other, which felt very sentimental and personal, especially as you had the sun set. It just kind of shows the end of a day, but a start of a new one to come. And then you see that the group kind of expands at the end, Jane joins in, and then there's just good vibes. It seems like you're with good people and things are going well and you're making good music, all of you, so like no complaints here. But this was so nice. A lot of the inspirations that he was talking about makes a lot of sense for the music that he makes and the sounds that kind of, I like that he mixes. He'll make some rock inspiration with some R&B or some rap inspiration and it just makes sense to me. This whole album makes sense to me, all of his other albums make sense to me. This all just makes a lot of sense to me. Also, Quadeca as a human is weirdly relatable, like one of the most relatable characters I've come across, and it's weird, and I don't know when it will stop being weird, if it will stop being weird, but we shall continue on this journey. I shall see you for the Scrapyard full album release in the next few days. I had a great time. I hope you did too, and I hope to see you next video. Bye! Quad Squad. See you next time. I thought it would be a lot cooler. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm hoping some of you guys left at that first little exit. Okay, I'll see you. Bye.